Hello. Oh, I'm chuckling. My sister's such a tool. She's looking for me live in the Facebook group, and I'm like, "Can you tell me when I can go live?" She's like, "I can't see you. I can't see you." Like, she hadn't told me. So, hi, happy Monday. I am just now checking that I'm live in the group.
Yes.
Yes, she says yes. I hope you've had a lovely, lovely weekend. It's been proper gorgeous weather here. We had a barbecue yesterday, and as soon as barbecue stuff comes out, it's my happiest time ever. Fab, let me know if you're watching. Oh, I've got my ticker and I haven't changed the name. What am I covering? Hashtags and keywords. I need this to be recording. Oh, and I need to spell. There. Let's get a ticker going. Look, cool. Right, so if you're here, let me know. I can see all your comments. Hi, Katie. You all right, my love? You're on my list of million things to do as usual, but I did start it. So I'm going to talk about hashtags and keywords. Very different things do a similar-ish job. Someone's here, but I don't know who you are. If you're watching me on Facebook, click the link in the text above this post. You might have to click more so that I can see who you are. In fact, let me get in the group myself so I can see. If I can remember how. Filter free. Let me see who everyone is. Okay, hello. How lovely to see you. Are you coming on Thursday? Hi, Donna. Fab. I can see there's a few more of you, so do just let me know. Oops, and no one's told me that I've spelled keywords wrong on my little thing. Right, so the difference between hashtags and keywords, what we use them for, how we use them, and kind of why. So the big difference between hashtags and keywords is not a big difference at all. The difference is that, sorry, I'm looking at the comments again. I keep getting distracted. Hi, Kay. And somebody else. Let me see. Marie, hello. So a keyword is a word that represents what you're doing in your business that people might be searching for on Google. So that's kind of the way I remember this stuff in my head is what are they typing in Google that relates to either your business, your blog, your service, whatever it is you're putting out there at the time. And we tend to talk about keywords in terms of SEO, which I will do a whole topic on, but the idea is search engine optimization, and it's the way that your website or your business is found on Google. So having the keywords that people are searching is just a vital, vital part of your business. And there's lots of ways to find out the keywords. I'll give you a tip now. The easiest one is go and ask your customers, go and ask the people that are looking for you, what are they exactly typing into Google to find you? And often this is not necessarily the stuff you think it might be. So for example, in my mental health business, I'll be focusing on keywords around like mental health therapy, therapists near me. However, my customers might be typing in how to deal with depression. It might be a very, very different search that they're doing to what I think they should be looking for. And for the billionth time, it goes back to knowing your clients. So if you already have a set of clients or you've got people you're working with, ask them specifically what they would type in to come and find you. And that's kind of what we're talking about with keywords. Hashtags are kind of like keywords, but with a hashtag in front of them. And hashtags are used on social, so it's nothing to do with your website. They are used for loads of different things. So they're used as a search tool. That's kind of what they were intended to be originally. They're kind of used as a search tool so people can type in a hashtag and the word and find all the content relating to that. Now, that only works if people are using the right hashtags to get their stuff found in a search. And there's so many hashtags have gone in this strange direction now where they're used kind of ironically, and I do it all the time. In fact, I've just been writing a blog on hashtags, and I use the hashtag ironically because we're using them to take the mick to flip round what they're actually supposed to be doing for us. Which when it comes to searching for hashtags can cause like loads of problems. And also the idea that the hashtag you might want to use is not being used in the way that it was intended to be. So, for example, something like hashtag depressed, hashtag anxious, they're taken out of context in terms of a hashtag. So somebody who's not depressed but is having a bad day, or they opened their favorite bar of chocolate and it's all white and old, could use hashtag depressed, and it's not giving you the kind of search results that actually it was intended to. And that's a weird example because I was clearly on the spot. But a lot of hashtags don't give you the intended result, which I'll talk about in a bit. But hashtags have got a wide range of applications as well. They provide social SEO. So although we talk about SEO in terms of what your website provides for you, your social media plays a huge part in this. So making sure your social media is consistent to the stuff you're talking about on your website, super important. Making sure your social is tagged with similar keywords to your website all helps feed into this idea that Google spider bots are building up a web about all of the stuff that's linked to you and your business. Jenna's got a good question. I will cover it in a sec. Trending hashtags. You're going to be very disappointed with the actual answer to that, but I will answer it. The other thing is, the other kind of difference between keywords and hashtags is this idea of time. So hashtags deliver kind of quick, instant results. As soon as you post hashtag out there, everybody can search it and it's an immediate kind of answer. It is kind of gratifying to your marketing tactics because you post hashtag, it's there, people can search it immediately. You'll get instant search results. Publishing using keywords in your content delivers your content to Google, which ups your ranking on your SEO. So technically you start coming up higher and higher in searches, or you're more recommended for questions around your specific area. But the keyword stuff, it's a long-term game. You can't just do your SEO and expect to be number one on Google immediately. It's not like that. If you're number one on Google, you've done so well to get that in your niche, or depends what your niche is. There are a bazillion things, but they're completely different beasts in terms of the results that they provide you. Keywords are so important on your website. Hashtags are so important on social, but they create kind of completely different things. Also, just to add into the little mix, make sure you're using keywords in your social media posts as well as hashtags. And lots of this depends on what platform you're on. But if somebody is on Facebook searching for business coaching, whatever, anything that I could potentially offer, having some long form posts written out on social with keywords in also helps in where I come up on search results. All of this stuff I kind of want you to think of it as like a bit of a web. It's all this stuff, it all ties together. And it's all really important, and it's all the stuff that is boring and we don't think about. But just adding in to your thought process, this idea that if I'm writing a post, let's make sure I add some of my keywords in there. It ups your game a little bit, and Google certainly likes it. Let me just get my water because it's just off to the side so you can look at Jade for a minute. Oh, you can't. My chair blocked her, so it's fine. So yeah, keywords are the main element of SEO, one of the main elements of SEO. So you need to know what people are looking for in terms of products, services, information, and find out what they type in. So why should you keep them consistent? And again, there's a contradiction in information here. Have I got another comment? No. Contradiction information here. So you need to use keywords consistently so that Google search bots can find them on your website. But you don't want to keep using the same hashtags consistently because it can get flagged as spam, because all your hashtags may not apply to all of your posts. And there's no wonder that it's overwhelming and confusing in this kind of situation because it makes no freaking sense. But the reality is the hashtags you use in your post should be related directly to that specific post. Now, there may be ones that you use on every post. So I'll use something like hashtag filter-free business on all my posts so that if anybody searches that, it comes up as me. But copying and pasting the exact same hashtags onto every post is likely to get your post marked as spam, which means that you don't show up when people are searching for you. There are certain keywords that kind of get banned, that can be checked out. You can check all those out online, which is crazy. Yes, Donna. Oh, wait. Do you mean hashtag like my business? Or do you mean hashtag Astro Designs? Hashtag like my business will almost certainly get you like shadow blocked. Just clarify what you mean on here. But yeah, any kind of hashtag like for like, any kind of post like that is very, very likely to get you blocked. And I say blocked, I mean that you won't be seeing any results. Your account won't get blocked, very, very unlikely, but you'll stop showing up. Yeah. If you mean your business post name, yes, you can use that in every post. It's the idea that if you copy and paste 30 hashtags, the same ones all the time into every post, it's likely to cause you an issue at some point. I use my business name as a hashtag all the time, in everything. So to kind of move on to Jenna's question a little bit. Oh, hang on. Yep, you're fine. Who's this? I don't like not knowing. So Marie, there's no hard and fast answer to this. There are, if you have a Google, you'll be able to search for, like, I can't remember what I search. I'm sure it's called shadow banned. It's like Instagram banned hashtags, basically. But anything that is asking for likes is almost always banned. And there's a lot of those. There's a lot of different smart ways that you can phrase that. But anything that's asking for likes is almost always banned. And it's not necessarily words you need to avoid. It's using the same set of hashtags over and over and over and over again, like in your consistent post. So like if I have a Monday post, technically, and again, we're not always great at this. I know that I am at risk of being lazy, just not collecting a new set of hashtags and just pasting the same ones in again. But when I do, the reach will be lower. So it's knowing that on anything I have going out on a Monday, I might have a specific set of hashtags that go with that. So Monday motivation, whatever it is I try to do, I'll have that set, and then I'll have different ones for throughout the week, and then they'll recycle. And recycling and reusing hashtags is fine. Copy and pasting them on every single one of your posts will just get you flagged up. And like I said, it won't ban your post, but it'll ban your search results almost. And there aren't specific words, but any word that could be misinterpreted or read differently. So, for example, this is an awful one, and it's one that I had on my business cards when I first started business. Therapist, the word therapist, can also be split down and read as the rapist, and it's horrific. And I had to get loads of business cards reprinted at the beginning because until you see it, you don't see it. But any word, and this is really tricky because that's a perfectly adequate word, perfectly fine word, but any word that could be misinterpreted can get shadow banned. Like, I don't know. I'm not Insta. They change stuff all the time. But kind of in terms of best practice, really, really check out your words. I hope that answers the question. So going round, kind of using catchy and unique hashtags, dead important. There are always going to be the same kind of core hashtags that you want to use. So starting to figure out different variations of them is important. But hashtags are great for kind of setting and finding the newest trends. And they can be absolutely key to campaigns going viral, as Jenna said. So if you want to get one trending that doesn't already exist, no, you don't have to do anything special to create it. You just use the hashtag. The things that make it go viral is that it's a catchy, well thought out hashtag that represents what you're talking about really, really well. And that you have people around who will help you start sharing it in the first place. Viral campaigns almost always start by almost a little core share, and then it's just so good that it gets shared around. Looking deeper into marketing, there's more you can do, but in terms of if you have to do anything special to create a new hashtag, absolutely not. you just use one. It's the content that's attached to that goes viral. The hashtag just helps it along. And that's a really important thing to recognize, is that it's your content that actually matters. The hashtags are just a complementary addition, and they help it to be found. The content is all about the content. You're not going to get hashtag viral if whatever it's attached to is boring, pointless, irrelevant, non-interesting. So it's all about the content. This stuff is just how you get your content found or noticed. So yeah, when you're using hashtags, really think about what you're wanting to say. And again, this is one of those where everybody kind of wants different things. So I will vary my hashtags depending on what context I'm putting across. So if I'm talking about therapy help, I'll focus my hashtags down that line. If I'm talking about almost shifting your mindset stuff, I'll move my focus onto mindset kind of things. You've got to really look at what your content is and what would support that in a search. That's sort of how you choose your hashtags. You can't just chuck out hashtag phrases and expect them to work for you, because they just won't. You'll want to use different hashtags to promote different kind of sales things. But just using hashtag sale is never, ever going to get you found in terms of the big players out there. So you do have to get creative. You do have to tell people about your hashtag if you've got a specific one. And again, making sure that your main hashtag, where possible, feeds into your ideal client stuff. So Donna says she uses hashtag Astro Designs UK. Unless people know you, they're not searching for that specifically, just like mine, Filter Free Business. Hashtag Geek Fashion, like, so much more relevant for you. No reason you can't have both. But if you're wanting Astro Designs UK to kind of be your catch-all one, it's probably not going to be, because that's only going to be searched for by someone specifically looking for you. Same as Filter Free Business. And it's a tricky one. And it's almost like that hashtag's really useful. If someone's found your stuff, they like your stuff, and then they want to see more of it, they'll sort of look for the hashtag that is the one belonging to you, basically. So they might click on it there. But in terms of promoting you to a cold audience, nobody's searching that, just like nobody's searching Filter Free Business, but it's still an important one to use for your warmer audience. Good morning, Anisha. You okay? I had lunch with Anisha on Friday. It was lush. So yeah, you want to use hashtags that stand out from the crowd where they can, that are directly linked to you, but you have to tell people about it. So it's almost the idea is, if I'm starting something on Insta, I might talk about it on Facebook, and I might specifically say on Insta, search for, and literally tell them what hashtag I want them to use. Whether they do is a different matter. None of this stuff is kind of empirically backed up to a degree, apart from your best practices, the best way that you can do this. Your hashtag shouldn't be too long. Dead important. Usually between 1 and 3 words. Anything that's longer than that is usually like used in a whole ironic Mickey Tate kind of way. Hang on. No, not until you have an established business with a well keyword coded website that explains everything you do, that all your socials tie into. You won't get to the top of Google search that's worthwhile to you until you have some sort of established stuff. It's something I still haven't played with yet, because I don't really need to. There are much, much better ways. Like chucking your money at Google Ads is a waste of money unless you have the foundation stuff backing you up. So until you have a well-crafted, keyword-filled website that's kind of spiderwebbed to Google My Business and all your socials, don't even think about Google Ads, in my opinion. You can do whatever you like. But I absolutely would not be recommending that in a billion years to small businesses that haven't got all the foundations in place first. Yay, is it all dry? Anisha's just had a whole kitchen ripped out and replastered. So yeah, so between 1 and 3 words on your hashtag. Also, and this is a tricky one, is they kind of say 20 characters, which sounds like it's fine for a lot of things, but some things like mental health therapy or if business coaching for women, it's longer than 20 characters. Again, it's not a hard and fast rule, it's a best practice. And you adhere to it as much as you can without compromising what you're trying to do in the first place. And that's really important. It comes back to, as always, your ideal client and the quality of your content. And this stuff underpins it. So I wouldn't shorten a business coaching for women hashtag if that's exactly what I was trying to promote. It's just being aware of what the guidelines are and choosing whether to adhere to them, because there's no, you've got to do it the right way for you, basically. So go explore your hashtags for your niche. There are, again, lots and lots of websites for this. I'm trying not to recommend them because loads of them are flipping paid for now. But I swear, if you just Google like hashtag research, a few come up quite quickly. It will also, you can also find out hashtags like yours. And there's certain sites that will sort of tell you how well used they are. Insta's 30 hashtags. Again, conflicting information between using all of them and not using all of them. I tend to try to get up to the maximum because I feel like, why would you miss out on that stuff? But there is some research that shows as little as 9 is effective. And this is the thing you're playing with all social media platforms, is their rules change, how users use them change, and we can only work with kind of what we've got at the time. So yeah, there's up to 30. A really useful tip is to use location specific ones. Even if you're not in that location to some degree. So if I've done a load of mental health in Sheffield, I might move it to like Manchester, because I will show up on more Manchester feeds and I can do therapy from anywhere. I notice if I go abroad, suddenly I get followed by lots of abroad accounts because it naturally can sort of figure out where I am. But I can use hashtags as well to tap into other markets, and that can be really, really useful. So yeah, 30 on Insta. Facebook's a bit of a fun place, seeing as Facebook and Insta are owned by the same people at Meta, but they have really, really different best practices for hashtags. So Facebook's kind of like 3. It's still not loving them, but they are still useful. Copying and pasting all your 30 from Insta to Facebook lets Facebook know that you haven't created content specifically for that platform and limits your reach. Again, like each platform wants you to play by their rules. So having your post published identically on both platforms is always a bad idea. They can tell that you haven't created that for their platform, so they'll limit your organic reach, which you don't want to be doing. There are social media schedulers, so I use Social Bee, that I can put the same post on and I can edit it per platform. So I can write the post in full, paste all the hashtags into my Insta, and I can change it, but I've still got the same post, the same image, but I can change it for each variation for each platform. There are certain kind of trend hashtags that you can jump onto in all of the platforms, and some work better than others. So things like Throwback Thursday, they don't do much for your brand in theory, but you can jump onto these kind of search terms really, really easily. Throwback Thursday works really, really well on Facebook, technically. Not as well on Insta, which is dead interesting. LinkedIn, post a maximum of 5 hashtags. Otherwise, LinkedIn's algorithm generally marks it as spam. Again, keep your eye on the best practices and follow them if you want to have the best opportunity. YouTube, you can use hashtag in titles and in descriptions to help viewers find videos. It's becoming a much more popular thing on YouTube. It didn't used to be that way. It's definitely becoming more popular. Pinterest, the only place you can click a hashtag is in the pin's description. So you can put a hashtag in the pin's description. It's clickable, and then it can bring up all the other things linked to that hashtag. TikTok, no fucking clue. They're very important on TikTok, I think, but it's just not my bag, so I can't help you on there. One last thing. So if you've got any questions, start popping them in now for me. One last thing is remember that hashtags can be used against you to a degree. So McDonald's did one a few years ago, I think, and it was they wanted you to share your experiences at McDonald's with them using hashtag McD stories. A great campaign in theory, but what people started doing is sharing all the awful experiences using that hashtag. So when that hashtag was searched, all the crap stuff about eating McDonald's was found, which is obviously not what they intended to happen as well. There's always the chance that a specific hashtag to you can be used against you. So you've got to be prepared to turn a negative response to a positive if necessary. Like we're talking about small businesses, this is unlikely to happen here. But thinking about all of your industries, really think about, what your ideal client's searching for there. Like I was thinking about Marie then. So Marie's works for Body Shop. Really checking like what the positive, negative kind of connotations are of some of the hashtags related to Body Shop. I don't know if you use them. I don't know if you're allowed to use them. I don't see how they could stop you, but it might not be within their kind of guidelines. But having a look to check that you're not using a hashtag that might like accidentally harm you. Dead important. All right, sort of covered, I think, in the level that I wanted to go into. So keywords, all about your website and SEO in theory, but keywords in social media posts are really important. Hashtags only for social. Helps with your searching within the platforms. Hashtags don't help with getting you found on Google technically, although all of your social stuff is linked back to your website and you're creating this huge spider web of who you are anyway, which is what Google is definitely looking for. So I hope that was helpful. Have you got any more questions? I'll hang out for a minute or so to just see. Oh, my live next week is at 9:00 because Jade's not here. And I've booked something else in that I did ages ago and forgot all about. So 9:00 I'm live next week, but I'll still be here. What am I doing next week, Jade? No idea. I'll tell you. How to record a webinar. Donna, wherever you are, that's for you. This is kind of your Zoom training that you were looking for. So I better do something about that. Yeah, how to record a webinar and how you use that webinar. So whether you're selling it, whether you're getting people on it for free, that's our training next week, but we're at 9:00 next week. So if there's no questions, I will go. If you're watching on replay, you've got any questions, post hashtag replay. There you go. I can search the hashtags on there and that really helps me. Yeah, post hashtag replay and ask me your questions there. Tag me in it ideally as well. And I will find it from there and answer you. All right. Have a lovely, lovely Monday. I'm getting on with writing a load of blogs now. So they'll all be coming out soon. All right. Bye, Anisha. I will see you soon. I've got lots to talk to you about soon. All right. Have a lovely day. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.